Hey, vibrant seekers, let's do yoga together. All right, so we are going to be starting on the floor or in a chair. You can run down if you're on the floor. If you're in a chair, just on the edge of the chair to allow those hips to come forward. Nice comfortable seat. Roll the shoulders up and away from the ears. Keeping the chest lifted, let's drop the nose toward the floor. Eyes can be closed or soft. Just letting go with your exhale, just setting aside whatever may be going on today. Tuning in to what's going on inside the body. I'm going to make that exhale nice and strong. So adding a little bit of squeeze at the end of the exhale, making it a full length exhale. Adding a little bit of a force at the beginning of the exhale, so you can really feel that breath leaving the body, taking with it anything that's not needed for your practice, just letting all the tension, everything go out of the mind, out of the body. And into that space that you've just created with the exhale, starting to expand on the inhale now, drawing in a little bit more breath with each inhale, feeling the rib cage expand, the back of the body expand, the whole body taking in that breath. And combining those two parts of the breath, the expansive inhale with that extra pushing exhale. So taking the time that you need to transition between those parts, you can really focus on what you're doing. And now letting go of any control over the breathing, just coming back to a natural breath, taking stock of how's the body and how's the mind right now. On your next inhale, we'll slowly open the eyes and come back into your space. All right, let's start with the left hand down or on the chair, right hand up and over, side bend. On an inhale, we'll come on up and over to the other side. Inhale, we'll come back up to center. Take both hands back by the hips, draw the shoulders back and down. We're going to lift the chest straight up toward the ceiling and then tilt that pelvic bone a little forward. Then you can start to come into a back bend. You might look up, you might look all the way behind. The neck might not like that. You just want to look straight ahead. That's fine. We're lifting the center of the chest, shoulder blades together, really trying to get some extension. On an inhale, we'll come on up from there. I'm going to interlace those fingers, take the hands forward, and then up and over the head. Elbows straight, neck is soft. It's breathing here. I'm going to bring the hands back down, change the interlace of the fingers, and then forward and up. And we'll bring the hands back down. I'm going to rest the hands on the legs or the hips. I'm going to circle at the hips. Just making big circles here. Make sure you're not using the head to do this motion. Really think about the center of the chest and keeping the spine nice and long. So you're rotating down into those hips. We're going to pause in that direction. Let's circle the other way. And then coming on back to center. If you're in the chair, you're going to take both feet together on the floor and allow the knees to open. So you're on the edge of your chair, just hold the back of the chair here, and then you're going to be leaning forward. If you're on the floor, you're going to scoot your feet forward, long Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Your hips are tilted forward here, and you're going to come on forward a little bit more here. Again, in both cases, you're leading with the chest. You might keep your hands back by the hips, but if your shoulders can behave and stay away from your ears, then the hands would be free if you're on the floor. Not if you're in the chair, though, because if you're in the chair, and then you want to make sure that you're stable. So in that case, you're sitting on the edge of the chair, soles of the feet are together, and you're leaning forward but not tipping the chair. So what we're looking for here is some stretch in the hips, maybe the back. You're going to be pushing to the top of your head, especially if you're in the chair, to make sure you're not rounding forward. On an inhale, we're going to come on up from there. Keep the feet where they are. We're going to turn into a twist. So turning towards the right. Let's go to the right this time. Getting some length in the spine as you turn. Keep, if you're on the floor especially, keep that opposite hip down. Inhale back through center, and then we'll come over to the other side. Inhale and back to center. Then you can draw your knees together. And we're going to work our way all the way up to standing. So if you're on the floor, just take your time. Clear your mat. Coming to stand on your mat in Tadasana, mountain pose. So feet are hip distance apart, outside edges parallel, legs are active, pushing down into the floor, drawing into your core. Shoulders are back and down. I'm going to soften the eyes here and just find your balance points. You can lift those toes. Just noticing which direction do you have a tendency to weigh heavily. Maybe one foot's heavier than the other. Maybe there's a left-right tendency. Find center of the body, center of your balance. And when you find that, you can soften your toes back down. And open the eyes if they were closed. And take those palms out to the side. Inhale, take the arms up. Palms together at the top of the inhale. Exhale, draw the hands down. Take those hands back out on your inhale. Starting to follow the hands with the gaze. Top of the inhale, hands come together. Exhaling, hands come down. I'm going to add a little bit of a bow at the end of your exhale. Inhaling, lifting and opening, a little bit of a back bend to your inhale. Exhaling, adding a little bit more of a bow, as much as what feels like you're still in control, but it feels like it's not straining your back. Nice and slow, trying to not rush the movement or the breaths. You might be faster or slower than me. Nice complete breaths. You might add a little more if you're feeling okay, and a little more of a back bend on your inhale and a little more of a standing forward bend Uttanasana on your exhale. As long as you're not rushing, anything nice and smooth, nice and controlled. And a few more here. You might come down to a full Uttanasana on your exhale. You might come all the way up into a full back bend on your inhale. You might be somewhere in the middle. And last one on your inhale. That'll be your last one into the back bend. We're going to bring those palms down to the stopping at the center of the chest. Breathing here. Then release the hands down to your knees. Bend your knees, taking your hands to knees or thighs. I'm going to circle here. Circling at the knees. You might roll around on your ankles. Keeping that breath moving. Might go a little faster here, faster circles. I'm going to slow back down to that starting pace, nice and slow circles. And then pause in that direction, slow circles the other way. Again, you might be rolling around on the feet, maybe lifting, lowering the toes. And then faster in this direction. Coming back to that slow starting pace. And then coming back to center, come on up to standing. Take the hands to the hips now, hula hoop, nice and slow. Breath is flowing. And kick up the pace here, faster hula hoop. Might bend your knees a little, circling. Remember in hula hoop, it's not about the head, right? If you've done this before, it's the hips. And slow back down to that starting pace, same direction. Now pause in that direction now, slow pace other way. And then faster pace in this direction, speed hula hooping. Coming back to that slower pace. And then we'll go ahead and rest, coming on up to standing. Good. Now let's take the hands up and overhead, palms together, keeping your elbows straight. Let's tip to the right for crescent pose, reaching to the right, lengthening that side body and rooting down into your left foot. So you get some extension here. And inhale, we'll come back up through center and exhale, other side crescent pose, rooting into your right foot and extending here. Inhale, we'll come back up to center. Release the hands to the lower back. Fingers toward the floor on either side of the lumbar spine. Shoulders back, tailbone forward, now back bend. So I'm going to lift the center of the chest, lengthen the back as much as you can. And breathing here. Legs are toned, legs are your support. Hips forward, the further back that you go. Draw the abdominals in. We'll come on up to standing. And now we're going to reverse. Abdominals in and supporting, legs strong. I'm going to tip forward. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. If you can't touch the floor, your hands could be on your shins, on blocks, or maybe just the fingertips here. Allow the upper body to soften, but those legs are toned, lifting the tailbone straight up. And you're balancing your weight on your feet from heels to toes. You're not heavy in either one here. So if you feel like you're heavier in your toes or your heels, then bring those hips in that direction that comes to balance. And then slight bend in the knees, abdominal supporting. We're going to roll our way back up to standing. Feet hip distance apart, outside edges parallel, hands on the hips here, deep bend of the knees. On an inhale, pushing the feet, come on back up. Exhale, bend the knees, coming down. Inhale, pushing the feet, come on up. And exhale, down and hold. Tailbone toward the floor, abdominals in chair pose. Arms up overhead if you feel okay here. And breathing. Checking in with your feet. Again, we want that weight distributed across the whole foot, not heavy in heels or toes or left or right sides of the feet. Really trying to lift both arches of the feet. And push in the feet, come on up and release the arms. All right, for this next set, we're going to be working on some balancing with a strap. And so it would be helpful if you had some furniture or solid thing to help you. In particular, if you have a chair or something low, and also if you have access to a wall or a solid piece of furniture. We're going to be working on hand on big toe pose using a strap. So I'm going to give you some time here. I'll keep talking while you gather a strap. If you don't have a strap, a longer towel, a sturdy piece of fabric, something that's not going to stretch or give, but will give you just an extension of your arm. It's basically what we're looking for. So we'll be working on hand on big toe pose and revolved hand on big toe pose. And so these are balancing postures. And so you want to make sure that your support, if you're using a chair like this one, that there's at least 2 feet on a mat, so it's not going to slide. If you're using a wall, you want to make sure it's a solid piece of furniture that's not going to slide in case you need it. Now, if you're more advanced and know you can do this in the center of the room without that, great. That works for me too. All right, so we're going to start with your lower support to the right of you. We're going to be standing on the right foot and lassoing your left foot in your strap. So we're going to start with that. So you can make your strap as long as you need to slip around your left foot. Now, easy way to do this is to keep your heel down and flip your strap around. Ta-da. Then you'll bend forward a bit, slide your left hand down the strap. So you're somewhat close, but still very much in control. Right foot now, root into your right foot and stand back up. Abdominals in, we're going to lift that left leg. And you might lift it as high as your hip level, you might go up higher. You could work your hand down your strap closer to your foot. Doesn't matter here, but I do want an upright posture. Pretend you're balancing something on the top of your head. Your right hand here on your support as much as you need. Again, this is to help you with your balance. But to challenge, if you want, you could try lifting that hand off of your support just to kind of see, where am I today? How much action do you need in that right foot, right leg in order to maintain balance? Can you feel all the muscles in the right foot working? And how's your breath? And keep that breath flowing. Can you also feel the top of your head lifting up toward the ceiling? And from here, you're going to take that left leg out to the side. Now, as you do that, still maintain the connection with the right foot, still maintaining some length. You have to set it down, that's okay. It's coming back into it if you have to come out. Toes are up on that left leg, left foot. It's up on the left foot. I'm going to bring that foot back to center, back in the hand on big toe pose. Release here. Now we're going to move our way to the wall. We're going to have the left side now close to your wall. Left side, same side that was just lifted, is the one that's closest to your wall structure. Now here, we're going to be lassoing that same left foot, but we're going to be holding the strap in the right hand. So opposite hand, lasso your foot and lift that leg. So we're back into our hand on big toe pose, but with a crisscross with which hand we're holding. If that makes any sense. And the leg that is closest to the wall is the one that's lifted. Now again, we're not jet skiing, no leaning back to get there. We're going to lift up straight and tall to the top of the head. And then from here, cross the leg out toward away from the wall. So cross the body, opening as much as you like here. And then if you still want more, take your other hand, your left hand, on the wall surface, turning your chest toward the wall, away from your foot. Revolved hand on big toe pose. Again, if you want more challenge, just take that hand off of the wall and try to balance. You might look toward your left hand, if that feels okay on the neck, but you can really look anywhere. And inhale, we'll unwind the twist, release that foot, and you're free. Good. Let's go to the other side. We'll try the second side again. Using that chair, making sure it's not on the slide. You've got nice solid furniture, everything's good. Now we're going to be standing on the left foot, lassoing the right foot with the strap in the same hand. So starting with hand on big toe pose, slipping that foot around and lifting straight up toward the ceiling. Again, you could be closer to the foot. You could lock that strap around if it's starting to slip. And we want to reach up to the top of the head, breathing nice and calm in the mind. Just lifting a foot, that's all we're doing. You might challenge your balance by lifting that hand off of your support, seeing if you can stay nice and tall. From here, we're going to take that leg out to the side. Yeah, and still breathing down into your standing foot, toned muscles on that leg. We'll bring that foot back to center. Release here. And we'll move to the wall on this side. So now you're going to turn so that your right side and right foot, the same one that was lifted, is closest to the wall. And your strap is in your left hand. Lassoing your foot and lifting here, nice and tall. Coming back to that hand on big toe pose, holding with the opposite hand. And then from here, you cross the foot across the body away from the wall and start to turn your chest toward the wall, starting to walk your hand along the wall, maybe turning the head that direction. So upper body is turning toward the right. The lower body is twisting to the left. Inhale, unwind. Release the strap. And coming back to center. Good. We're going to work our way into triangle, Trikonasana. Now you could use a block or the seat of a chair. Here, if you're going to use the seat of a chair, you're going to take it to the outside of your right foot. You'll have it on your mat that way. If you're going to use a block, you'll also do the outside of your foot on the right side. So I'm going to take your right foot forward, toes out on that side. Outside edge of that foot lines up with the long side of your mat. Big step back on the left foot. Now this is again where you could use a chair or some furniture here. Toes in, heel out on that left side. Both legs straight. Hips in line with your feet. So feel that rotation. Hips in line with the feet. Engaging the leg muscles are not just hanging out. Arms out when you're ready. Reaching through your right fingertips, extend. And then drop down, right hand to your chair or your block or your leg. Stack your left shoulder, really opening here. Head and shoulders, everything in line with your left foot. So see if you can sense down into your left foot and can you extend? And now, if it feels okay on your neck and you feel fine on balance, you could turn your head to look at your left fingertips. If that doesn't work, just look anywhere. Now from here, tone the muscles of that right leg, bend your right knee right out over the ankle and come up for warrior two. Your Trikonasana 2, strong legs. And now here, you could turn to look over your right fingertips, just beyond. Or you could just look straight ahead. Or you might have a hand on a chair if you're really feeling unstable here. And turn your right palm up toward the ceiling and now reach up into reversed warrior. So you're going to keep that front knee bent. You might even bend it a little more and starting to reach over toward the left side. On inhale, come back into warrior two. One more here, bend your right arm, take the forearm to the thigh. You're going to take your left shoulder back, really drawing it back. And then maybe that left hand up and over the head. And the last little bit here is to bend the knee a little more, drop the hip down a little more. Keep that top shoulder drawing back, root into your left foot and extend, extended side angle pose. On inhale, come on back up, warrior two. Release the arms, straighten the legs. We're going to come to the other side. So using that support, a chair or a block, so you can move it around or turn yourself around. Left foot forward, right foot back, heel out, toes in on the right foot. So even though you have this inner rotation on the right side, The hips are going to counter against that and open in line with your feet. I'm hoping that makes sense. You still have this inner rotation, but the hips are in line with the feet and your left foot is forward. All right, from here, arms out. Reach through those left fingertips, hinge at the hips, come on down, Trikonasana triangle. Stack your shoulders, stack the hands. You might look up at your right fingertips. You might look down or around. From here, tone the muscles of the left knee, left leg now, particularly around the knee, and bend the knee coming up for warrior two on this side. Front knee bent right over the ankle, so outer spiral on that thigh. Shoulders stack right over the hips. Again, you might look out over your left fingertips. You might just look straight ahead. Warrior two, strong pose, toned legs. And turn that left palm up toward the ceiling and reach up, reverse warrior. Right hand could come down the leg. You're going to keep the legs where they are, still bent in the front knee, but take as much of a side bend as you want here. Inhale back into warrior two. And now bend that left arm, forearm to the thigh. Draw that right shoulder all the way back. Just trying to open the chest toward the ceiling. And then keeping the shoulder back, that hand could come up and over your head. You might bend the knee a little more, dropping the hips down, root into your right foot. So you really feel that extension on the whole side body. Inhale, we'll come on back up. Warrior two. Release the arms, straighten legs. We'll step the feet together. All right, let's come down to the floor. I'm gonna grab a hold of the blanket. I'm gonna sit on the edge of a blanket. Let's start in a traditional staff pose. So we're gonna extend the feet forward, legs forward. I'm gonna sit on the edge of that blanket. So again, it's like you're about to fall off the blanket right on the edge, tailbone moving back toward what's behind. Hands down by the hips. Draw the shoulders back, toes up toward the ceiling. So here, you should feel the abdominals kind of drawing in and supporting the spine, shoulders back and down, not hard military style, just soft here, lifting up to the top of the head like you're balancing something there. stack pose. Now, keeping everything from the hips up in the same line, we're just going to tip at the pelvic bone and come on forward, leading with your chest, not your chin, leading with the chest. We're going to keep the shoulders back. If they can behave, your hands are free. Keeping your toes up toward the ceiling. I'm going to isometrically draw from your heels up the length of the legs and tailbone moving back behind. So it's almost like you're going to try to move the floor underneath of you with your feet and legs. If you were to try and scoop the floor behind and lean with the chest here, leaning forward, looks like you're in a game. You're going to scoot and try and get as long as you can in the upper body. Now, if your elbows can easily touch the floor on either side of your legs, then you can round down and take your nose towards your knees. But otherwise, we're going to keep that length in the spine. Inhale, we'll come on up from there. Let's take your left leg out in a wide position. I'm going to draw your right foot in. So that right foot comes all the way up toward the inner thigh. I'm going to start with a forward bend here. So one leg is out, the other one's bent. You've got two knees here. We're going to come straight forward between the knees. So I'm going to bend down, try to keep your sit bones down. Again, you're leading with the chest right between the knees. If the shoulders can stay away from the ears, your hands are free. They might come forward. If your elbows are on the floor, you might start taking down your nose down and maybe can touch your nose to the floor. But I still want you to think about chest moving more than your shoulders, sit bones down and toes up on that left foot. Inhale, I'm going to come on up from there. Let's do a side bend here. I'm going to slide that left hand down the length of the leg, starting to drop the shoulder, elbow, everything down on that side. Take your right hand to your right hip, open the chest. If it feels okay and your shoulder can stay back, you can release that hand, maybe all the way over your head. Just don't roll down. Keep that openness, keep that turning toward the ceiling and the dropping over the leg. Inhale, well, come on, back up to center. All right, we're gonna switch legs. We're gonna extend the right leg, draw that left foot in, toes up on that extended leg, right between the knees here. We're gonna come straight down for a different side, different hip. Just breathing. If you're able to bring your elbows to the floor, then go ahead and start to drop the nose down, maybe coming down, touching the floor. Remembering it's not about how far you go, just what is your edge and what can you observe and discover here. Going to inhale, we're going to come on back up. And then into our side bend. Right hand down the length of the leg, whole right side starting to drop over that leg. The left hand on the left hip, open the chest, opening toward the ceiling, really feeling that twist in the body. You might lift that hand up and over, you might just keep it on the hip. So we're starting to drop as low as we can over your right leg, but keep that other hip down. So if it's coming off the floor, we're going to ground and root there. And inhale, we'll come on back up, supporting that leg. We'll draw that leg in and release the feet. All right, we have twist. Let's extend the left leg long. I'm going to take the right leg and cross it over, knee up toward the ceiling here, so that foot in close. We're going to get nice and close to this foot, to this knee, and drop that left arm outside of that knee. Use that as leverage and twist. So try to keep lifting through the top of the head. Right hand down on the floor for support, leveraging against your knee, and keep turning. Inhale, unwind, and come to the other side. Extend the right leg, Left foot comes in on the floor, knee up toward the ceiling, and nice and close here, and lift up to the top of the head. And take that right arm to the outside of the knee, use it as leverage, left hand on the floor to help you with the length, and turn, twisting. Inhale, unwind back to center. Release the legs into any comfortable seated position. I'm going to bring those hips forward to help you with the length up. Resting your hands anywhere that feels good. Now, if you need to get into a chair here if the hips are hurting, please do. I'm going to sit on the edge of the chair if you're there. Roll your shoulders up and back. Drop the head down toward the floor. Eyes are closed or soft. Just breathing into the nose, out of the nose. And drawing the breath down in the belly, feeling the belly move in and out, belly breathing. Checking in with how is the body and the mind now at the end of our practice, as compared to where we were at the beginning of practice. Has anything changed? Still keeping the eyes closed or soft. I'm going to bring the hands together at the heart in a namaste position. Just giving yourself credit for doing your practice today. Giving yourself a recognition that you've taken another step on your journey of yoga. I thank you all for joining today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next class. Namaste.